What's up, everybody? It's Leon Josh with another episode of 713 Football, man. First of all, make sure you drop a like, sub, and share this to all your Texans friends or just football friends in general, man. It's a great time to be a football fan with the NFL draft coming up. And today, that's exactly what we're going to be getting ready for the NFL draft. We're going to be doing a live mock draft for y'all. This will be our second one of the season. And yeah, man. Josh, how you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling great, man. Any day we get to do a mock together, man, live with everyone, so we can get everyone's comments and ideas throughout the whole thing is a great day.
100%, 100%, man. So let me go ahead and share the screen, bro, and let's get right into this. So share screen. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. So we're gonna do seven rounds today. I'm gonna go ahead and enter it. As y'all all should know, we have the 28th pick. That should be not shocking to anyone here. So we're gonna go ahead and start the draft. And yeah. All right. So let's look at a few picks before. Caden Proctor is going to the Buffalo Bills. Cassius Howell going from A&M, the edge rusher, going a pick before us. TJ Parker going a couple picks before us to the Bears. Max Ioniker is going to the Browns. Emmanuel McNair Warren is going to the Eagles. And Keldrick Falk is really picking up steam. I guess that's kind of not crazy. I feel like he's probably been around there anyway. But a guy that a lot of people were kind of starting to look at for the Texans is gone, man. So those are the 5-6 players before us, man. Josh, man. So what are you thinking about our needs right here, and what do you think about the players that was taken right before we picked?
Yeah, it's interesting to me. Like I could have seen myself like convincing, myself to go and get Caden Proctor if he had fallen to us, right? To add another weapon. Like I know we have all these positions filled out, but you can never have too many offensive linemen, and that's kind of a player that's got such a high upside, assuming that we have good intel on Bama, which we usually do on guys we kind of go after. But for me, the thing that I look at and the way the picks are starting to move in this specifically with Keldrick Falk already off the board and TJ Parker, even Cassius Howe, I think this is a place where like defensive line is like screaming at you, right? And there's two names right in front of you with Caden McDonald and Caleb Banks that jump out to me right away. So kind of what are your thoughts? That's kind of where I go right away. I think that's where the value is. Even Peter Woods, I didn't even see Peter Woods there, but it's like a three-headed monster of guys where this is the range. You go with 28 really. You could kind of hope and pray and cross your fingers and say whatever thing you want to say to see if it'll get to 38, but for me, like this is the spot where if you wanted to go get a true plug and play D lineman, this is kind of where, especially D tackle, interior guy, this is where you kind of have to pull that trigger.
Yeah, for me, it kind of comes down to the two defensive tackles between Caleb Banks and Woods. And then I think Emmanuel Pregnon would be a good pickup here as well. A physical guard. I know we done a lot of work on the interior offensive line, but Wyatt Teller, as good as he's been, we expect him to be very good moving forward. He's an older player, and I mean, we've all seen how things can change very fast. I know he's kind of been dealing with a lot of injuries or a lot of stuff going on the last couple of years too. So he doesn't necessarily stop you from drafting a offensive lineman here as well, right? And I want to say I think most of the guards that people liked took snaps at center. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe he could end up doing some stuff there as well in the future. But those are the three players I'm also looking at. But let's go ahead and make our decision, man. I mean, this is
Specifically though, I have a question because you
mhm.
kind of skipped over him. You don't really see. It's just funny because this is a name that was brought up. You just pulled it up right away.
Yeah.
This is a name that was brought up by Lance Zerline. Do you think maybe they move off of him because he's more of a stereotypical nose, at least initially, or kind of what are your thoughts with Kaden
Yeah,
McDonald?
I just kind of looked at the upside of the pass rush of these guys,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think Caden McDonald is gonna, probably be a good pro, but it's just kind of about the upside of the other two guys, and then, well, really the other three. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean,
Right.
that said, I think McDonald is is a good player. I think that he's a guy that he's not. It won't be shocking what when he becomes like a pretty solid player in the run game. It's just how much more do you get
Yeah.
that? And I mean, can he be a solid 3 down player, like specifically on passing downs, right? Um, so that's the thing. I mean, do I think that a run stopper right there, is I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick, but it's just kind of how I was feeling today. But how do
Yeah.
you Proctor? I mean, not Proctor. McDonald, man. Do you feel like it'll be a solid picker?
It's interesting, right? Like I think it's interesting to see a nose tackle get as many stats as he got. Like he got a good amount of tackles for loss. He got, I think, 3.5 sacks. Like he got some numbers in there that you don't usually see. Now, was that a result of playing with so many different dudes on the D line there with Reese and with Styles and different things in his? But man, he's really one of those guys that's, I think he's only 20 years old. I know Falk is another guy who's super young in this class. But I believe McDonald's is really young and maybe scratching the surface. He's really interesting to me. But man, you know how I have a soft spot for Caleb Banks, and I think Peter Woods is the guy that it's hard for me to kind of pick him over Banks. Now, I'm assuming that medicals across the board are clean, like in this case, so like they're cool with everything and everything's cool. For me, it's hard for me not to take Banks. I think Banks's injury maybe end up being a blessing in disguise for us, where he gets pushed down because I don't think before that broken foot that he was gonna be there at our pick with how kind of the draft was playing out and how people were freaking out about his numbers and everything. And so, man, I think the fact that he was able to run a 40 with a broken foot is possibly one of the greatest accomplishments in NFL Combine history, right? Especially run like a 5 flat or even maybe in a below 5. I don't know, just some crazy number for that size. That's where I would go. I know it's kind of boring because everyone has heard us talk about Caleb Banks. Would you
Mhm.
go a different way? Are you leaning towards Woods? Are you leaning towards McDonald or somewhere different?
Yeah, it's just the offensive lineman or him. I think that Banks has like that unique size and speed that, for a nose tackle is kind of unheard of. And I think that in our scheme, him, being extra one gap, I think he could be very, very good, and it just kind of comes down to how motivated is he to play football and how healthy can he stay. And I
Yeah.
think like, those are the kind of questions you're asking. It's not a physical issue. So, I mean, and at that point, we don't know what was said in the interviews. We don't know how these guys really test out mentally. So I guess all we could kind of go off is their physical upside, and I think he's a guy that in an alternate universe could have been a top 10 pick. You know,
Yeah.
had the stars aligned. And he stayed healthy. So I think we're in agreement with Caleb Banks here. It is kind of a swing. I mean, not necessarily in terms of there is some kind of boom or bust quality to the pick, I'd
Yeah.
say. But I
Yeah.
think that the thing is, like, if you hit on it, it's kind of like, well, now you have a guy that can be potentially a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I agree. And maybe they come out and say, we really like Peter Woods and we take him here because he fits a little more of our
Mm.
stereotypical scheme. And we think that it was a flat, the previous years were kind of fluky. We're going to lean on that freshman tape and they could do that. But yeah, I agree. I think it's going to finally give D'Amico the shot to kind of use one of these guys. Like he almost went and got Eric Armstead, like previously Eric Armstead, Buckner. We've talked about this going back to that prototype a little bit to finding that next guy. We don't have to rush him, which is great. He can be rotational now. I know we've talked about that adding to the D line. Rotational now, potential impact player later. And I think he falls in that bucket. Keldrick Falk falls in that bucket. Peter Woods even falls in that bucket. Like if you need to kind of revamp some things with that. McDonald is a guy that could fall in that bucket because he's younger. Like some of these upside swings. Yeah, I'm Caleb Banks. I think with this pick.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and get him. All right. So the last couple picks, let's just talk about them. So Peter Woods goes pick number 1 in the second round to the Jets. Caden McDonald goes pick
Mm,
number 2. Casey Conception goes to the Titans. Colton Hood goes to the the Raiders, and Zion Young
Mm,
goes to the Giants. I mean, that would have been a great pick. I know we picked D line at first, but yeah, I mean, Zion Young being there would have definitely made us definitely have to talk about it. Let's talk about who's on the board now. So you got Caleb Lomu, which kind of, if you were looking at mocks months ago, it feels like that was never gonna happen. But
mhm,
whatever. Uh, Emmanuel Pregnon, who we talked about a little bit earlier, Lee Hunter, even though we just drafted defensive tackle, Brandon Cease is interesting. You know,
mhm.
Ty Simpson, D'Angelo Pons, Chris Bell, Jacob Rodriguez, a lot of guys that R. Mason Thomas, a lot of guys that, aren't necessarily positions of need, I could say, but still could be, solid players in the league. AJ Halsey as well as a safety from LSU. Keontae Scott, who really tested amazingly, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, he
And
killed it. He had like a 44-inch vertical, which is absolutely insane.
with like a 4.25 40
Mhm.
dunker. But yeah, man. So I mean, who else? I feel like I saw that linebacker from Jacob Rodriguez. Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about here? Who are your top 3 4 players for us now?
Man, it's interesting. I put a mock out on Twitter. You guys can check it out. It was a I did, and I got Pregnon in the third round, and I think people are pushing him up. I think he may go in the second round, but man, people kind of have to. He's a freak and he's a grown man, but he's also 25 years old. Like this is a grown man for a reason. Like, and there's some stiffness in the hips and everything. Now, would it make sense for us to go for him at like a 38 potentially? That's kind of like the top of the range where I would start thinking about him personally. But man, Lomu's interesting because you have that upside swing of a left tackle. But man, I really like it's farther down the board and it's not really a sexy move. You mentioned it was Rodriguez out of Texas Tech. Like if you brought in a guy, we always talk about having different body types to pair with what we have. And if we could get a guy who's an absolute baller, he's basically central casting what D'Amico likes in linebackers. Guys that just know how to populate the ball, super smart. He came out and tested way better than people thought he would, right? He looked kind of stiff and everything. He had like I believe an under 7 three cone and ran a damn good 40 and all these different things. Like there's some Cease is a damn good corner out there as well. It's interesting, but for me, I think I would kind of focus in on Rodriguez here as an interesting value. Pregnon is interesting. I could see it. I could be convinced, like, if you're feeling strongly that way or another way, but like, kind of what are you looking at this point? Because there's a lot of guys. This is probably a place, if I'm Nick, I think about moving back here and maybe kind of picking up. Oh, Basantis, I didn't see him up there. That's
Mhm.
fascinating as hell, too. Like, he's a super solid player that's just gonna plug and play, and he's kind of be a guy that you just have for like 10 years and you just kind of get kind of bored because he just starts so many games.
Yeah, it's a tough place to pick. Like you said, it's kind of a guy of guys that you feel like people might be willing to trade up for. People might be willing to trade up for Lomu, even Cease, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
people might be. I mean, the quarterback is still on the market, and there's a team that I guess with the Browns, I don't know exactly how they feel about the quarterback situation, but I guess the Dolphins are probably the next real team that is really probably looking to take a quarterback, or the Jets,
Yeah.
maybe, assuming that I don't think, yeah, of course not. So, yeah, I mean,
Oh, one more
maybe,
name for you. One more name that I just saw when you were scrolling through.
mm,
Is this where you start thinking about Jadarian Price? Maybe.
yeah, yeah. Well, we have another second round pick as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it's about that time. When you get to the second round for sure. This is a tough pick because I'm kind of in. I mean, part of me wants to go corner, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
because I just like the player right there,
Yeah.
you know.
He's a dude, man.
Um,
Pons is the dude as well. He's just smaller, but
yeah, I understand. Like, there's not a real need there, and it's not like I understand. Obviously we have Stingley locked up for I guess like a year or two more. I don't. I'm not looking at his contract. I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly when it started, but yeah, you got
It would be a Lassiter move. It would be if we didn't think that we were. I don't think it'll happen, but I remember who was it? Zerline talk about it. If we're not knowing if we can be able to match what Lassiter's price is, in free
yeah,
agency or what the market is, that's would be the kind of move. I mean, I'd be down for it. You know how I am about being early. That's a great move. I love the idea of putting Rodriguez in there or running back. Like that's where it's neither of those are super sexy picks. But corner is neither sexy, but it could definitely. I mean, we've seen how injuries pop up with Stingley and stuff.
yeah.
Which way do you want to go?
Unfortunately, guys, we're not gonna trade back on this. I mean, can we? I don't really like PFF's trade system.
Yeah, you can click on the little trade tab and see what happens there.
Where's that at?
It's
Oh,
right
right
next
here.
to draft the player. You see. The Jets are offering. Yeah, I don't know. It's not worry about
It's
that
it's kind of
because
like it lets you kind of draw it up yourself. Where I
yeah,
don't like that.
yeah,
But let's see. I don't
yeah.
know.
The PFSN one's a little bit better because they offer you a bunch of stuff and
I mean, we could try it though. You want to try it? I mean, shit.
no, just we'll do a different one later because it's gonna we're so we don't want to take up too much time for
All right.
everybody. I think.
All right. Okay. All right. So you thinking Rodriguez?
Yeah, I
Or like
mean,
if you had to pick three players or two players.
for me it's Rodriguez or Price.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the two for that I would love to pick at this point. You're getting the number 2 running back, or you're possibly getting the number 1, or not really 1, but number 2 or 3 linebacker, most like potentially.
Yeah, I mean this is a hard place to pick.
Or we could just go Pregnon. We could go guard and just say, you know what, super high floor player fits the scheme. We could go Pregnon here at
I
38 as
mean,
well.
it's kind of like if you're gonna pick here.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. It's just such a tricky place, because there's no real that many options. I guess that really make sense. I mean, it almost like if we would have went another place to pick one, we could have talked about Lee Hunter, right? But
Yeah. We
I
go
mean, we did.
Cease if you're feeling Cease.
No. It's fun. Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys, let's say like we have to draft here? I mean, how many people would truly be upset with the moves we made this year if we took a corner? I mean, you know, it's one of those
Someone
things
said
like,
trade back for 14 sevenths.
mm,
Quantity over quality.
yeah,
Space Age said Pregnon or Rodriguez.
yeah,
Let's see. I'm scrolling
Pregnon,
through.
no brainer.
What's up, Scott? Uh,
You want to lose the Pregnon? Let's just go Pregnon then, just for the sake of the
yeah, we
draft.
do it. We do it for the people. Let's do
Yeah.
Pregnon.
All right. Took
Maybe we can get
Pregnon.
one of those other two dudes on the
All
other
right.
side.
So running back, center guard, D line still says our needs. All right. We know we took two of those for sure. So
Hmm.
it looks like the linebacker is gone. Is the running back gone?
I'm sure he is. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah, he's gone. Okay.
Yeah, they went back to back 49 and 50.
Well, Mike
All right.
Washington is still there, so there's that. Let's see who else is on the board.
Let's see who we got. Oh, Joshua Josephs is fascinating. I know people might freak out a little bit going edge. Um, he's an interesting player. He's a speed guy, but
Mm-hmm.
there's in that secondary bucket. All right, let's see who else we got. Galladay, if we wanted to go linebacker, he's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Alton is a guy that's
Mm-hmm.
athletic, kind of fits in the bucket of what we're looking for. He
Mm-hmm.
athletically kind of reminds me a little bit of Braden Fisk when he was coming out, where
Mm-hmm.
kind of lighter, but like decent size for Rutledge is there. Claire at linebacker. I mean, a tight
Yeah.
end.
Um. All right. So we went guard, and defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about linebacker. I mean,
It's
you
a
want to
big.
go? You want to
It's a
go
big
Galladay
board.
here?
Yeah. Let's
Galladay and
do it.
Mike Washington are good options. Texans Tangent says Teller has been injured, so depth is always is important.
Yeah, no doubt.
Uh, I think, I think the linebacker pick. You address the front seven pretty heavily. You get another player that can, potentially start in the long run. In Galladay.
Yep.
We adding depth on the secondary. In the second level of the defense. So I'm cool with Galladay here, man. All
Yeah,
right.
let's do it.
All right. All right.
All
All
right,
right.
69. Let's see. You want to go Mike Washington Jr. here?
Yeah, it's kind of like the pick that to me, we missed out on the running back earlier, but you get a guy that has like an equally high ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
A big back, 230 pounds, that has elite breakaway speed. You know what I
Right.
mean? Shit. I mean,
And
anything you want to
and
say about?
yeah, I mean, and you give him the thing with him is that people are getting a little overexcited, but I think this would be a good landing spot because he has that runway to kind of develop. I think there's a lot of stuff he needs to work on. I mean, if we hadn't gone defensive line earlier, I really like the big citrus over there, Dominic Orange. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
fun. If we wanted to go big receiver, Surratt would be really fun in the slot. But I think like with the wear, let's see, Claire would be fun at tight end. He's kind of your
Mm-hmm.
Laporta style player.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be fascinating. But I mean, the more you look down, I think that this is the value, and you just kind of nail down your running back position at this point, and you kind of have that upside swing. What is this? The third round?
Yeah, third round. Yep.
Let's see. So we've gone D line, guard, linebacker. I wouldn't hate Claire here. Let's see.
Ramsey, I like Ramsey a lot. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
decent amount for
Yeah. Safety
a third round.
wouldn't be a bad look. Oh, Anthony Hill's
Anthony
still on the
Hill.
board.
Yeah. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know
Mm.
if I see that happen. We could double up there. Roush is still there, tight
LT
end.
Overton. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Um.
Crawford is a guy that's going to go a lot higher than this.
Yeah.
I know teams really like his athletic upside and his frame and everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Malachi Fields is still out there, big receiver. Wheatley at safety.
Yeah. Corleone must have had a down year this year, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Trigg is obviously a freak. Let's see.
I'm on the page too now. Let's go back.
Let's see.
I'm trying to can't. Well, what other running backs are on the board? Even I mean,
Yeah. I always think about Singleton grabbing him because of the injury.
mm-hmm.
He's gonna be around a little bit later. That's always my kind of backup plan. Let's see. Surratt Claire. You could get a damn good tight end here.
You talking about Claire?
Mm-hmm.
Can he play? Can he really play well in line though? Because it's kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe wait for a Roush instead, or someone like that.
If he can't really run block that well, then
He's solid. He's nothing special. You know, he's 6'5", 240. Kind of. I think he's like a 71 blocking grade.
So do you think
it's like a Laporta type where it's good, not great.
It's just like, do you think that Washington? I know Washington will end up being like the. We really don't have a second, another big back though, right? I mean,
yeah,
that you really feel comfortable with. I mean, it's tough. Because I can understand the tight end. Let's look at the tight ends available.
There's a few.
Ross Trick. I mean, how many guys can really play
It's
in
like there's
line?
two. There's Claire, Roush, injuries, Dalen Bentley. But I mean,
Mhm,
I would go Claire here if you're talking about impact
mhm.
day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always like the Ohio State guys because their production is always a little muted because they got so many other dudes around there.
Is Delp even there? Someone just asked. Delp said Delp can
Oh,
block.
I think he's a little bit farther down. I love Dell. I
He's
would
there.
not be.
He's still. He's.
Yeah, he's
They
probably
have him
way
this far
down.
down.
Yeah, they got him way
Wow,
down there.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
All
wouldn't hate
right.
Delp at all. We could double up on Delp later for sure.
So
Like two tight ends isn't crazy.
you would take Claire over Mike Washington.
Yeah, yeah. Me personally, yeah. I
Okay.
think.
All right, y'all. So I guess we're gonna go tight end.
All right,
Let's
let's
go.
do it. It's the least sexy draft in the history of football, but it's your meat and potatoes. T line, guard, linebacker, tight end.
All right. All right.
All right, all right, all right. Cool.
So
Into the fourth round.
um,
Wheatley's
is
fascinating.
is this kind of getting to the point where we do take a safety or a DB? Let's see, Malik Muhammad. No, he's an actual cornerback.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
see. Bud
CJ
Clark, I really
Jones.
like. Have you watched Bud Clark much?
Not too well. Yeah, I have a little
Yeah,
bit.
he, he
Uh,
he's a cat, man. He's
let's see. So there's two DBs we like.
yeah. Let's
Um,
see. Jolly, we already did tight end, so we're good on that for now.
uh, Emmett Johnson. Is this too early? What's probably a little early, huh? Or,
Yeah, I mean he's fun. He wouldn't be a terrible pick. He's one of those. He's a running back. He's not gonna give you like a bunch of stuff. Like Jaden Ott's really fascinating too. He tested really well at his pro day. Um,
mm-hmm,
his numbers aren't sexy, but
mm-hmm.
the problem is he's
204.
similar to Woody Marks.
Yeah.
If
Singleton is still on the board.
What pick are we 101? We could probably wait one more pick and get Singleton, or we could just nail him now. What do you think? If we just
Uh,
wanted just to, I would either go safety. So Wheatley is like combination slot deep guy, and then who was the other safety? Bud Clark.
yeah,
Man, Clark in this defense would be pretty gross, having that kind of ball production.
yeah.
He's
So
skinny, but he can tackle. It would be
between
like
those
having two
two,
Bullocks out there.
between Wheatley and
Singleton, or Wheatley, Clark, and if we wanted to go running back.
um, yeah, I'm kind of indifferent on this. I feel more safe with Wheatley, but I think you can make a case for either. What do you guys think? We're probably going safety here. We have Blankenship. Yeah, but I mean, who's the safety behind Blankenship? You know?
Yeah, we're one injury away from having to play.
Oh, we know we're going running back, Space Age. We're going running back. You know,
Yeah,
it's just the same type of question because you could say we have two running backs that probably will be over. Um, we have two running backs that will be over whoever we draft here. You know, we have two, three, we play three safeties every down, and
yeah.
our fourth safety is, I mean, I guess
It's
the
Jalen
rookie
Reed.
Jalen Reed, who I did like, we got hurt. I mean,
Right,
I guess, yeah.
he's solid, but I mean, if we wanted like game changer or not game changer, but a real playmaker, Bud Clark, I gotta watch a little more Wheatley, but he's
I mean,
solid.
I just feel like we have solid young depth there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's more so what it's like for me because it's like shit. The shit. Reed just didn't play. When he got asked to play, I didn't feel like he was bad, but he just got hurt pretty quickly as well. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to say. But I mean, obviously, we were able to get around it, so maybe that's the thing. Mm.
He was a Penn State guy too, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was right. Yeah.
So maybe they have a type there.
No Stribling, Reed. I guess he was talking about. Was he talking about Reed Blankenship? Tangents.
Let me see.
Um,
Stribling is receiver, big kid from oh
no,
Lord,
I'm talking
big kid
about
from
like
Ole Miss.
tangents is saying Reed. Is there a Reed that I'm missing, or is he talking about Reed
He's
Blankenship?
either talking about Jalen Reed or Reed.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because we
I
were
see.
asking.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, my bad. Oh, okay, okay. All right, Space Age. It's a 6'3" corner out there, but I can't remember his name. I feel like they had a couple.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's look at the corners. Just is it this kid? I think he's 6'4". Yeah,
yeah, he's a
Sicario
monster.
Davis.
His tape scares the shit out of me though. It's like up and he's a guy I would take in like the maybe the fifth. I mean, you could gamble on the fourth. Um, like Julian Neal's a bad dude. Uh,
Yeah, I think they have a few
he's a
big
he's a
corners
big
up there.
corner as well.
Um,
Let's see.
this shit is hard.
Let's see. Let's
Oh
see.
shit.
You want to
No,
just maybe here's the thing. Like either we go safety here or we just make sure we get like go
the
get
running back.
go get the running back and just make sure we get Singleton here. Unless you're thinking of a different running back.
It's
There's a
hard,
lot of
man.
guys. There's just not a lot of big guys that have think you get that value with his.
Singleton. Who else is like Katron Ellen? He's solid. Right? He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's
he's big.
220. Um,
Taylor's big.
how big is this dude? Okay, 210. You said who?
Uh, good lord.
Kalen Black.
No, Taylor.
Oh,
Taylor.
that's what I was just looking at.
Yeah,
Taylor. Oh,
he's
he's
decent.
5'9",
5'9", 205. So he's like sawed off. Good break tackle and everything. But
I just know, like, looking at this thing, it's kind of like you expect them to be there the next round.
yeah, let's go safety then. Do you want to go? Here's the question: do you go with size or ball production? This is the question.
Um,
Bigger, flexible athlete, inside outside with Wheatley or
I mean, for how our second safety played last year, you kind of will want. Well, I think both of those guys are big enough to play strong safety in our
yeah,
defense.
yeah.
Um,
I would go Bud Clark, I think, because I want to have right now we don't have a secondary a guy that we really trust if Kalen Bullock goes down.
that's kind of what I
Like,
was thinking. Like,
yeah.
if there's no real free safety,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's go ahead and do
Let's
that.
take him. Yeah, let's do Bud. I love Bud. In Bud we trust. It's almost like in Bum we trust. All right.
So we got all right. So here we go. Hopefully the running backs are still there, and our guy is still there, Nick Singleton. A couple guys, Katron Allen, two guys that didn't really overachieve in college, but there's still hope for them, especially running behind an improved offensive line like we have, especially with
Mm-hmm.
adding. Let's go over who we got. So we got Banks, Pregnon, Jake Galday, Max Clare, and Bud Clark. So we invested a little bit still on the offensive line. So this is a good situation for someone to come into and
Mm-hmm.
potentially be productive immediately. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to go Singleton, don't you think, Josh? I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
maybe we could wait. No, we can't wait. Yeah, we kind
No,
of have to go
no.
running back
Yeah,
here.
this is the perfect round. What is this, fifth round?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we probably to get him, you probably have to go fourth. But for
yeah.
him, it's in that like end of fourth range. Is probably where maybe he goes.
So
All right, let's do it.
got him.
Beautiful. All right, now we're making the final touches in the fifth round.
Mm-hmm.
There's
So
some
y'all check out the
fascinating.
chat real quick.
Let's see. Some of while you're checking the chat, let's see. We got a good pick though. Josh Cameron's really fascinating here. He's got some really interesting returning, blocking, great hands. he caught my eye a lot at the Senior Bowl. I think he's fascinating. If we want linebacker, I mean, we already want linebacker, but if we wanted to go secondary one, the good athlete, the kid from TCU. There's a corner
Mhm.
out there, Julian. Maybe we go corner here with Julian Neal.
Yeah, that's possible. That
Um,
makes sense.
let's see. What other positions haven't we touched on? Emil Wagner's fun. He's a big kid that's good measurables, and he's kind of a long-term piece a little bit where he could
hmm
grow into being a tackle.
Yeah, six,
Massive,
300.
massive human. Jeff Caldwell's a freaky receiver.
So we have 2 picks left.
Yeah. We got Armaj Reed Adams, who I'm always a fan of. He's an absolute, he's just kind of leans on people.
Yeah,
Large
six.
human. Let's see. So what are we missing? Is there any edges, like upside edges that we didn't really address edge at all? Let's see if there's any like interesting upside swings. Let's see, Vinny Anthony's fascinating, but there's no one really that jumps out. No, I don't really see anybody. Pyborn's a monster human, just tosses people. Yeah, there's nothing there. Let's see.
I mean,
Coleman slot. Go ahead.
should we double up at running back or is
Oh,
that?
with go get both the Penn State guys.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know. We could, but if we wanted to go receiver, this would be a good spot. I mean, this feels like a good place to go corner.
Let's see.
With Julian Neal,
Oh, Julian Neal. That
he's
is
kind of like
6'1".
by himself, at least from what I've, really good tackler.
Yeah, 6'2". Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's like it's one of those spots where you can't get mad at taking a position you deep at, especially with a guy that profiles like that.
Right. And
Yeah,
really,
that's
we're not. I mean, not incredibly deep. We're
mhm,
one injury away from having Jalen Smith on the field. Uh,
mhm.
so I
Yeah, let's
think
go.
he would fit kind of give us a bigger corner to pair it with what we have. All right, beautiful. All right, let's see.
I think I would go Taylor Green here.
You say Taylor Green. Have you looked at Have you checked out Cole Payton?
Not really yet.
Look at it. See if they list his measurables. He had a 92 grade a couple of years back. He's 6'3", 233, just the absolute just tank.
hmm
But yeah, Taylor Green would be really fascinating. I don't know if I'm curious like if we would have a roster spot to kind of to hold on to him though, because if we could never let him off our roster because let's see, is there anyone else that jumps out? I don't hate that move personally.
Eric Gentry is like really skinny.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
God, yeah, that's pretty light in the
no Tyron Montgomery receiver that went to Casario School. He's from Texas. Man, it's hard for me to. I don't really value the receiver spot, and I think we've invested so much there. I think we have good depth there. I mean, I think if they sign one more, veteran guy, I feel like we are really solid there. Um,
Yeah. It's
so
one of those things that if early in the draft there's a value that smacks you in your face and you really think they could be like impact guy, then I agree. But I mean, looking about Malik Benson's an athlete. He's interesting, but like let's see, what is he? Yeah, 6'1", 195. But at this point, I don't really see anyone that let's see if there's a tight end there. We could double up at tight end because there's so many damn tight ends in this class. Let's see, RJ Mayo. No, I don't really see anything. Um, let's see what else.
I think I would kind of take my shot at a quarter. I mean, I know it's kind of like it wouldn't really. I mean, we're set at quarterback.
Yeah,
But I think like I mean, why not? You know.
Just look down, scroll down just a little bit just to see if there's any names that completely jump out. I don't think there are. Vinny Anthony's interesting at receiver.
Mhm.
He's a bigger body. Oh no, he's only 6 foot 190. He plays a little bigger. Haynes King is a similar kind of athlete. Let's see. I don't see anybody. Sorry is a linebacker. If we wanted to double up a linebacker, he would be kind of a classic. Uh, I wouldn't hate that pick. He had a really good Senior Bowl, but yeah, to me it would either be Sorry or we go quarterback. But let's go let's go get the everyone, all the people that came out and said, "Oh, he looks a lot like Terrell Pryor." This let's go get our Terrell Pryor. Except he's not. He's gonna be
I
a
mean,
quarterback.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
and, we don't have. I mean, he could be our wildcat option type quarterback. You know, I
Oh
I
man,
would take him.
no doubt,
You know what I
no
mean?
doubt. Yeah, this
Uh,
get him. Let's get him on the board. That's a hell of a pick at this point in the draft.
yeah.
I don't think there's any way he gets that far. But it's a great value. All right, let's see which picks do they love. They love Pregnon. They don't mind. They kind of like the Banks one B plus. Then the later we got, they didn't like us. They love the Singleton pick.
Mhm.
Let's see any other picks. Yeah, no nothing, no D's. So we got a
Yeah.
B,
Yeah.
above average. You know,
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and can I? Where is the save button?
uh, download.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're gonna post this. We're gonna post this on Twitter. Yeah, man. I mean, no mascot. I mean, quarterback drafted one last year. I mean, I think Space Ace says I hope Casera has the balls to get Taylor Green. I mean, listen, I mean, here's the I mean, well, another thing too, Brandon. I mean, before we get too deep on that, we did draft offensive lineman pretty really high. You know what I mean? So, there's that. And honestly, this guy won't even probably start. But honestly, Taylor Green would help the O line simply because he can run. I mean, think about it. You can have sets where you know between Montgomery and I mean Woody Marks and him. I mean, I think that there's a level that we haven't really seen. I mean, in our offense at all, with how run heavy we might have to be, having a running quarterback on your team that could come in and just come in and change the run game
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. And you could go back to teams that I'm talking about, like the Saints. I mean, who else? What other teams had like a second wildcat type quarterback? I mean, the Saints
Um.
with
Yeah. Taysom
Taysom
Hill.
Hill. I mean, hell, Lamar Jackson his rookie year.
Right.
I mean, shit. I feel like you kind of can go on and on.
Yeah.
Of teams that have kind of flirted with that type of idea. So that's
For
kind of
me,
what.
yeah. Oh, sorry to cut you off, but like for me, the biggest thing that people aren't gonna really bring up unless they really think about it. But for me, a big reason you could get Taylor Green is you give that look for your defense against Lamar in the playoffs. And you have that like something that you no longer have to put a receiver out there or something to like give them those run looks. Like if you could put him out there and really stress your defense, and if you want to make your defense even better and better, is have that guy as your scout quarterback for a year. And between him and Mertz preparing looks and everything and different things, depending if Mertz even makes the team, right? Who knows with the late round guy, but seventh round, like I'd love to go Surrey, but even Surrey, like the chances of him making this team or whoever making this team, you could draft an offensive lineman. Like I think in the fifth round, Julian Neal has a decent shot to make this team because in the fifth round is kind of where that cutoff is. After that, it's kind of when you have this good of a roster, you just kind of have to take swings. And I think
Yeah, I
having a
think he's
talent
a
like
big
Taylor
swing,
Green,
and
yeah,
I think yeah. So I mean, I think this is the point. This is the point. If we need a running back to change, I mean, if we need a quarterback to change the run game, then we don't have a run game. I mean, did you see how the season ended last year? I mean, I think there's a reason we went on and got all these offensive linemen.
yeah,
Um, CJ Stroud looks so damn ass that I think that you kind of have to make sure that at any given point you don't have to throw the football. And I think that's what I'm saying. We don't have an offensive line, even with all these changes. We don't have an offensive line that you can count on to just be like as dominant as the Eagles or I mean, who else? The Eagles, the Lions, those teams that can kind of just run the ball no matter what is in front of them. And I
Right.
think that you kind of have to create little cheats for yourself. So that's what I'm saying. Now that said, though, I do think we'll be able to run the ball better. But I mean, also, we're talking about a seventh round pick. I mean, it's not like we took Ty Simpson in the second round or something like that. This is something that, I mean, look at everybody else on the board. It's like this guy has at least the athleticism to be good at something, probably. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I think he gives you something that you don't have on the roster at all. You know what I mean? Which is a guy that can run and throw the football. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And to me, the thing that like jumps in my mind, because I've been watching, I'm a sicko, and I was watching kind of teams with like these great defenses and how you kind of handled not having a great quarterback. I started watching a bunch of Jets tape when they had Mark Sanchez and they had that defense and they had Thomas Jones. And then I came across this run play that I think it was like Dan Casey posted it. You guys can check him on Twitter and or X, whatever you want to call it, and see that play. But the way they just were able to run block, and they had a Thomas Jones who, if it maybe it's just me, but reminds me a lot of what we have in David Montgomery right now. Similar kind of player. A piece that they had back then that really added a dimension and took some stress off the quarterback times. You guys should remember the great, I don't know if great's the right word, but Brad Smith, right? He was the dual threat from Missouri. He went and tried to play receiver when he got to the pros, but then he came and was able to play some dual threat stuff for them at times, some different things. So I think having as many answers to a guy like Kaylee, who's a self-proclaimed game plan, OC, it never hurts. And in the seventh round, if you can get an athlete like that, like why not at this point, right? Out of all this draft, the things that I critique myself and is that we didn't get another edge rusher in a great edge rusher class. But I'm happy we got a linebacker. Happy we got a good tight end in this class. We got a good safety, one of my favorite safeties in this class. Got a solid guard that I think is a guy who you can come and plug in. We got a DT that's an upside swing that he could potentially be Caleb Banks. I mean, of course he's Caleb Banks. He could potentially be a Chris Jones type of guy with that kind of talent the way he has. Now, he may not end up being that. He may end up being more like Eric Armstead or even lower like a Javon Kinlaw. Who knows? Body types are weird. Injuries are weird, but God only made so many of these guys. So Singleton late is a great value. Neal is fascinating if you guys want to go watch him. He's kind of reminds me of kind of what we look at, but I like this draft, and I think if we were able to come out with something similar to this, you can interchange the linebacker with someone else. You can interchange the tight end if they like someone else potentially. But man, I would be pretty gassed up if we came out with this.
yeah, there's some players that I don't think will be there. Like Space Age said, Taylor Green probably won't be there. At the seventh round.
Yeah,
Um,
he's probably like a
Singleton.
fourth rounder, fourth, fifth. I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of these guys that we took in the back half probably would get drafted a little bit higher. But yeah,
yeah,
man, I like it. I do think that there's a decent amount of boom or bust with off of Caleb Banks.
yeah.
I think Pregnon is going to be at least a solid pro, right? But
Right.
everyone else to me kind of has a lot of like boom or bust. But I mean, that's kind of how it is, especially when you actually have a talented team, like Josh was saying. A lot of these guys might not make the team, what I mean, especially as we continue to draft, and so you're just hoping that these guys can come in and just play football, what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, man, I'm happy with them, man. Make sure y'all like, sub, and share. We just put out a video today. Make sure y'all hit the channel, man, to watch it, man. So again, if y'all want to support us, you can easily just join for like $2. I think it's $2.99 or $3.99 or $1.99 a month. I think we might have one membership at each of those prices, man. But yeah, make sure y'all tap in, bro. And we got more stuff coming for y'all. All right, peace, y'all.